In 1954, a Japanese fishing boat in the Pacific was suddenly shaken. One of the fishermen saw a yellow flash from the ship's window and ran to the deck to find out what happened. Upon reaching the outside, he was stunned. The sky and sea were glowing orange. The fishing boat was sailing about 130 kilometers from the site of the 𝗏𝗏 nuclear bomb test in the Marshall Islands. A few hours after the explosion, white radioactive ash fell from the sky. Gradually, they experienced nausea, their bodies blistered, and their hair began to fall out. They called this white ash death ash. 6 months later, one of the fishermen died. 𝗏𝗏 was 1,000 times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. It was part of their nuclear weapons development during the Cold War, and most of the project was kept secret. Perhaps the most affected were the inhabitants of the northernmost island in the Marshall Islands. They too were showered with the ash, which the children there mistook for snow and played with. Due to radiation contamination, the inhabitants of 𝗔𝗯𝗂𝘁 had to be evacuated for 2 years to a neighboring island, and it's estimated that 55% of all cancer diseases suffered by the people of 𝗔𝗯𝗁 were caused by radiation exposure from 𝗏𝗏. To store all the soil and radioactive debris from the tests, the U.S. built a concrete dome called the Runit Dome. But here's where the new problem arises. Due to the climate crisis, the radioactive waste in the dome could leak. Rising sea levels could flood and damage the Runit Dome, and extreme storms could spread radiation across the entire island. Unfortunately, this isn't the only place nuclear waste is resurfacing due to the climate crisis. Greenland also became a site for American nuclear tests during the Cold War. If temperatures continue to rise, Greenland's ice layer storing nuclear waste could melt in the next 75 years and spread everywhere. We're reminded again and again that the climate crisis isn't just making the air feel a bit warmer. For many others, it's a matter of life. For perspective, the temperature has increased by 1.1 degrees Celsius in the last 1.5 centuries. Never before has the temperature risen this fast. As a result, each year, Greenland and Antarctica are losing ice at a rate equivalent to the weight of over 16,000 pyramids of Giza. Because of melting ice, sea levels have risen by 10 centimeters. This can cause flooding and also relates to extreme weather. What follows could be crop failures and famine, natural disasters, floods, and even more viruses and diseases. Unfortunately, we can't undo the 1.1 degrees Celsius increase. Even in the most favorable scenario now, we're trying to limit the temperature increase to only 1.5 degrees Celsius. And if we keep doing business as usual, the temperature could rise to even 4 degrees Celsius. Yes, humanity has advanced and created sophisticated technology, but have we ever asked at what cost?